Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think you should know about the November Ascension energy here in 2018. It's a very paradoxical type of month. On one hand, there's a strong element of completion for all the different lessons that you've learned about life, about yourself, about your purpose, about everything over this last year. There's a climactic completion type of energy where you might be realizing just how much you've changed, grown, and expanded in such a relatively short period of time. At the same time, this next upcoming year is looking to be even bigger, more expansive, more, surprisingly just more surprising, bigger than you may have thought. And with that in mind, there's a period of gestation where we're kind of, again, integrating the lessons learned and preparing and priming ourselves to get ready to kind of blast off in this next year. So there's a lot to talk about in this update, and I look very much forward to getting into it because it feels like just an extremely spiritual and deep and profound month that will touch you at the core, in your soul, in your heart. The awakening is really getting deep within you now, within everybody, basically. Before I get into the 5 things, let me just say, if you're brand new to my YouTube channel, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Any new awakening soul ready to rock and roll, find their purpose, and spread light on the planet, it's an honor to talk to. Thank you for being here and participating. If you are new, I have a free guided meditation that I made myself for people who are going through this awakening process. It'll help you realize that you can heal your own energy blocks just with the power of your mind. It's totally free. I made it myself. There's a link down below at the top of the description box. Check it if you'd like. And with that said, I'll go ahead now and get into the video. Number 1 is completion and planting new seeds. 2 different things, and yet it's kind of happening simultaneously. So to best put this into perspective, I'm going to share with you 2 examples from my own life. Completion. What I mean by that, there might have been issues, struggles that you've had as long as you can remember with such momentum and ingrained so deeply that you may have questioned, is it possible for me to really transcend this? All the evidence in the past might lead you to believe that no, it's not. And yet, you might find those things lifting, finally, lifting permanently, blowing your mind. I'll give an example. So many of you, some of you might know, some might not. Either way, I've been married a long time for my age. I've been married almost 10 years. My anniversary is coming up this month. I've been together with my wife since I was only 20 or 21 years old. And from the time we met, we have been attached at the hip. For the first 8 years of our marriage, just to put it in perspective, we only were away from each other a few nights. We literally met. We're like soulmates. We started hanging out every day. She quickly moved into my parents' house, and we've always been together. So that's cool. That's sweet, you might be thinking, but that has bred a little bit of there are some downfalls with that, where we both had a little bit of jealousy issues because we're always together. Anyways, our lives are now getting to a point where we're both coming into our own and kind of going on our own path, which is good and healthy, you're probably thinking, and we agree. But these jealousy issues, at least for me so much, has been coming up. These paranoias and these jealousy, issues essentially from high school, from girls screw me over, whatever. And they've been there present with me my whole relationship, and they've really been coming to a head for me. And it's something I really wondered if I could get through. And just over this past weekend, it was the first time where I had an experience where I realized that they were finally permanently gone. It was almost like my worst nightmare had come true. My wife made this other guy friend, which I'm not really used to. And I got all worried about it, as I would in the past, these old patterns. And I finally was able to kind of hang out with both of them together, and I could see they have a connection. I would not want to stand in the way, but it's like a friendly connection, like a brother-sister sort of energy. And I could just see it so obviously, and all of a sudden I just realized that all this jealousy just kind of lifted off of me, and I feel finally free of it, just free of this big burden that I've been carrying. So that's kind of a completion, something I never thought possible to let go of. I didn't know how, even though I wanted to. It's just the way the awakening in your life and your higher self can work. It might take some time, but we are going through a process that is allowing us to transcend anything we want to transcend, and it's possible. And you might be seeing that kind of theme in your own life. Now, with that said, there is you might be planting some new seeds just as quickly as you complete something. We're souls on the move. We're on a mission. You might find yourself having these new intentions and goals and aspirations and just intuitive knowings that you're heading somewhere new in this next year, and you might find yourself contemplating these ideas that are starting to come to you in absence of some of the issues that you parted with over the years. So it's a very powerful and rewarding time right now. Number 2, it's a golden opportunity to release incredibly deep subconscious mind blocks. You might find yourself this month being attracted to something that resonates with you, that will help you and allow you to really dive deep into your inner workings, that are now becoming relevant because where you're going in this new year will not be, those inner workings left unchecked will mess you up. They'll sabotage you. They'll it's like dragging around dead weight. That maybe if you're sitting down and the dead weight's just chilling there, it doesn't affect you. But you're now going to be on the move, and it's now relevant to let go of those chains that have been binding you. And this is just there's a window this month where you'll find ways to go about doing that. Like, for example, I'm going to Rhythmia in Costa Rica in about a week and a half or so on the 11th. And there I'll do a bunch of ayahuasca and partake in this whole retreat sort of situation. And the whole name of the game there is like, just transformation at a very, very deep level. Now, that's just me. All these updates, as I always confess, are just me expressing what is happening with me. And it happens to be what's also going on with many of you, because we're all connected to this path. And it's not just my Rhythmia experience that led me to say this. I've just been talking to a lot of people who I know and usually weren't all that much into going deep into their blocks. But these guys, they're feeling very motivated. It's present in their mind to go within, whether it be through a book or going to what I'm doing or anything. There are many valid ways. But if you find yourself guided to do something, if you find yourself motivated to discover and heal deep inner blocks that you suspect might interfere with your future plans, then now is an amazing window to do just that. Number 3 is integrating lessons learned from this year. A little bit different than just the completion energy I explained. In fact, it's almost something that happens after these lessons are learned. It's a period of integration that it's important to give yourself time to do. So it's like you can go through a big healing, have a big epiphany, some kind of realization, and then quickly, almost immediately, understand it on a mental level. But it's the emotions there's other layers to you as a human being, and the emotional body is what I'm referring to. Sometimes needs to kind of settle down and reorganize itself and release and renew and revitalize itself so you're completely integrated. Have you ever met people that are basically all in their head, and you could tell there's like a disconnect from what's going on in here and their intuition in their body from what they're thinking? We don't want to become like that. But it's easy to when we just try to race through these lessons quickly. It's important to let ourselves ground them into our body, into our character, into our demeanor, so they can be fully there and present in all we do. We can carry the benefits of these lessons we're learning into every little thing we do in our life. And to do that might require taking a bit of time to do nothing, to stare off into blank space for an hour and let your mind just kind of randomly wander. Let your emotions sort of do what they want to do, just bubble around, wave around, and just sort of be, and give you, your emotions, your inner child, if you want to call it that, time to integrate and to process. It's very much like exercise. I used to train personal training clients that I could tell the way they thought. They say, oh wow, I did like 50 push-ups today, Vic, and I'm stronger. It's Wednesday and I'm feeling stronger. What if I was to do 200 push-ups or more, or work out more? And it's not like that, because the whole name of the game of, real quick, muscle growth is you have to challenge and stimulate the muscles and then let them repair. They adapt and become stronger. Your spiritual growth is very much like that. We learn a lesson, we allow ourselves to kind of repair and revitalize, and then we can move on to the next. Okay, so it's a time where you might feel very emotional for no reason. Like I've been crying a lot for no reason. There's one song I've been listening to on my SoundCloud. Every time I hear it, I just start like, oh, like a baby. And I don't care though. I embrace it. I'm not afraid to cry. I'm letting myself process, and I know it leads to a place of balance and strength and integration for that next chapter. Number 4 I wrote down, is going to seem a little interesting. Family reunion. Wee. No, just kidding. Soul family reunion. Did you know that you're raising and rearranging your frequency to such an extent that you'll become a magnet for your soulmates, which can be brother soulmates, sister soulmates, mother, father, grandfather, loving sort of partner like soulmates, all friendship, all these different. You have a big posse, you have a massive crew of like mind, like energy souls that you travel through time and space and eternity with, and you're living in a lifetime where your frequency is revving back up to the point where they will start to become more present in your day-to-day experience. They can come out of left field, they can come in many forms, but you'll know it when you feel it. You'll feel, like, why do I love this person unconditionally? I don't know why, but I know I do. I've been seeing this happen left and right. It might even be someone who's already been in your life that you all of a sudden just have this like remembrance with. Not on a mental level, like, oh yes, we were dolphins 17 lifetimes ago. It's more of like a empathic, energetic, intuitive, emotional remembrance. And it's basically, it boils down to love. You might find people popping into your life that you love, and you don't know why. I mean, you probably intuitively sense why, and it's true, because they're part of your crew, part of your soul family, and you have the ability to attract them into your life. So keep your expectations high. I talk to a lot of people that say, I'd like to meet, in fact, I just read a question from my Instagram, just yesterday. It said, I'd like to meet, this is like verbatim, I think, I'd like to meet some relatively normal, somewhat awake people. That's coming from a place of, I don't have anybody. I'll take any somewhat normal, slightly awake person in my life. And I answered the question, I said, no. You raise those expectations. Aim to attract those that you remember, is what I said. Okay? And I would encourage you to do the same, because there's a big window where that might happen. Even if you don't see how, believe me, the universe can work in mysterious ways, and you're a powerful manifester. You've been doing a lot of work on your frequency, especially if you've been giving yourself time to integrate. You may be surprised at how this all goes down. Number 5 is getting ready to fly. Reminds me of the Pearl Jam song, Given to Fly. You're getting ready. You've been given to fly, basically. And flying implies a quantum leap in your life situation, also in you, the person in that life situation, will need to be at a much higher level and is now going into a much higher level expression of yourself. And this can be a mixed bag of emotions. Most of the time when this is happening, emotionally, we don't feel ready. We don't feel exactly 100% excited to go on to this next level, and yet we know it's time to do so. This could mean changing careers. This could mean just finally just dropping what you're doing and going for that dream that has been gnawing at you for years, and you just know it's like, it's now or never. Okay, there's like a quantum leap happening this next year where we're just going to be in a completely different space. And it might be the same space, the same thing you've been doing, just on a much bigger level. In a way that sometimes can make us almost afraid or feel guilty to go for. Like, is it uncool of me to have these dreams, to be like a really... to be an amazing writer and to go around the world speaking? That's what I want to do. Who am I? Who am I to go around the world speaking? Why not just be grateful for what you have? I am grateful for what I have, but I also want to do these things. I allow myself to dream. Allow yourself to dream. Your dreams, as you align with them even a little bit, will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because you become more and more and more aligned with your real potential. But it's very important this month to do all the other stuff I mentioned, to give yourself time to step back and to process and integrate all that you've learned this year. It's important to really, if you feel called to do so, do even some more deep healing. Now is the time, that gestation period, to get yourself ready to where you're going to fly regardless. But do you want to be like sputtering, barely struggling to get off the ground and go through that sort of nerve-wracking experience you could probably imagine someone in a plane that was doing that would feel? No. We want to just sail off effortlessly like a hawk or an eagle into the sunset, into the new. They're both options. You're going over there anyway. Why not sail like that eagle? And it doesn't take much, man. It just takes chilling out. It takes integrating. It takes healing. Okay? It's a very, very, very important month in relation to next year. There's going to be a lot of growth, a lot going on, and a lot of blessings. A very spiritual time. And I feel very excited, just very excited and ready to go into it myself. I really hope you feel the same. I'm going to bounce, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying yourself and your life and having a good time. If not, I understand it's not always easy, but I'm here for you. I love you very much. And I thank you for all your love and your kindness and your appreciation and the good vibes you send to me. I feel it, and I appreciate it very much. Namaste.